We'll break down the highlights. Vic Lombardi, Chris Marlowe, Chris Dempsey. Fellas, a 19-point lead for the Nuggets. 19 points they led in the second quarter. Only twice in the history of Nuggets basketball have they blown a 19 or more lead in the playoffs, both to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, it seems the Nuggets had this game in hand somehow. And when I'm thinking about the overall, I'm just thinking about decision-making, Vic. I think there was some poor decision-making tonight by the Denver Nuggets. I think Minnesota played well. They took advantage of that, and that's the result you get.
Yeah, so I think the flow of this game, it was interesting. Look, a double-digit lead in the first half in basketball is something that goes away almost all the time. Minnesota defensively, starting in about the second quarter, was just a completely different animal than what they had been for the majority of this series leading up to this point, which is only one game. They closed down space. They hounded, Jamal was under siege, for basically the entirety of the second half. When you are able to play defense to that level, and then start to really create and then they also played faster in transition, I thought, as well. Something that worked for them in the game that they did win here early in March. They ran a lot in that game. They got back to that in the second half as well. And the Nuggets just weren't able to handle that and hold on. Yeah. I thought the Nuggets in the fourth quarter got a little bit cold from the outside. Joker and Jamal as a tandem in the fourth quarter. I saw the stat kind of late. They were 1 for 10 combined at that point in time. Mm-hmm. So, they were not having the same type of impact. Minnesota finished it out in the way that they wanted to from the first.
I don't know if you guys saw the same thing. The Nuggets looked a bit fatigued at the end of that game.
Well, I think that was because Minnesota put the screws to them, just to be honest with you.
They leaned on them. Yeah, all right, let's take a look at the final moments of the game. Again, it was back and forth, and the Nuggets gave themselves a chance, right? They were down by 4. This 3 by Aaron Gordon late cuts it to 1. They come back, get another 3 from Dante DiVincenzo. Still a chance. Here we go. Joker says, I'll do this. Then Joker to Christian Brown. Now, at that point, you needed more. They get 1 out of 2, so they're down by 1. And then the final play, which resulted in a breakaway dunk. Yeah. And it was a lack of execution down the stretch. We're so used, we take it for granted at times, we're so used to the Nuggets out-executing teams. Yeah. It just wasn't the case tonight.
Well, you've got Jokic in the lane with about a 5-footer. He decides to throw it to Christian Brown, who's open, kinda, and it's deflected by Ant. Mm-hmm. And Christian goes to the line, makes 1 out of 2. Then the final play where Murray, the Nuggets are down by 3, and Murray comes off the screen, but he's not beyond the three-point line. He's inside the three-point line, so even if he makes it, they're still down by 1 with seconds remaining. I just thought, you've got to take a 3, and I think Jokic has to take that shot.
Yeah. Here's the play we're talking about right now. They're down by 3.
Yeah, so look, he comes off the ball screen, and then look, I think there's 2 schools of thought here, just because there's what was it, about 14-ish seconds left in this at this point. The 2 schools of thought are this: 1, you can get a quick 2-point shot. If the first available open shot, you take it, make it, and foul again, and then play that whole sequence over to save your 3-point desperation heave for the actual final play. Or you can do what you 2 are suggesting, which is just take a 3. And if you miss a 3, then it's game over at that point as well. So, I think in basketball you see that. I think you see it played either way. I think the directive for Jamal Murray is just to go out and get the best shot right now. Probably the quickest best shot. If that's a 3, take it. If it's not, and it's a 2, anywhere on the court, you take it. He took it over Rudy Gobert, which is very difficult, and he missed that shot.
I would just say one more thing. I don't know if we can look at that one more time. I hate to play producer, but once Murray comes off that screen, he's got an opportunity to take a 3 there, but he dribbles kind of into Gobert territory where Rudy can kind of catch up. I don't know if we can do that.
Yeah, we'll play it again for you.
One more time.
Because
Jamal's
you're right.
got it. You're only open for a moment there, but you have the 3. And
so I think
now watch this now.
Yeah,
like
correct.
when he comes off right here,
right there.
you got to stop and pull up and
see,
let it rip.
Yeah,
Easy for me to say. I'm sitting on the couch, but
yeah, for either one of us, right? Like, I mean, Gobert, that would have been a three-point shot over Gobert. I think what he was trying to do was turn the corner, draw two, which he's very obviously good at. But the rotation there for Minnesota was as soon as Jaden McDaniels gets hit on the screen, then he just turns. It's you take your body and you just turn to the roll man. So that would have been Nikola Jokic. So now he doesn't have it past Nikola. Now he's beyond under the three-point line with really nowhere to go because the defense is hugged up on everybody. So now he's got to take a contested two over Rudy Gobert. I would just credit the rotation there from Minnesota with two really good defensive players.
What Minnesota did really well is they stuck with Jokic. They know Jokic can make that shot. But Murray's got two plays there. He's got the three-pointer, if he takes the Marlowe advice there, which he probably shouldn't, or the two-pointer over to Gobert. So you're shooting over Rudy no matter what, right?
Yeah, so I think it also, correct. No, that is exactly right. And so there's two, you can take that quick shot at three, but you would, you know, in the split second that you clear a screen and then you try to read what's happening on this other side, that's the time that you either would have taken that shot, or now you have to try to drive your man down and then step back for the jump shot, was kind of what he did a little bit. So either he can just not look at Jokic and just take the shot. I mean, he could do that. Or you can peek at Jokic, see that Jaden McDaniels is already on him, and now it's like, okay, now what do I do in this instance? So it's just so split second. I just think that Minnesota did a really nice job of making it so fast. That you couldn't.
This game was lost in the second quarter. You got a huge lead. You're up by 19 points in this game. You're at home. And the second quarter was abysmal. That's where the game was lost. Let's see if our friend Scott Hastings might agree. Scooter's on the court right now. Scooter, what'd you see from your vantage point? I know you called the radio with Kaz tonight.
Well, as the run kept going on in that second quarter, I told Kaz on the air, I said, this sure feels like Game 7 a couple of years ago when you had the 20-point lead in that third and into the fourth. Second unit struggled overall tonight. They didn't give you a lift. And to be honest with you, for most of the court, especially the first half, the front court didn't give you anything. Joker was great in that third quarter, but I think he was 1 of 6 in the fourth, including that one pass down to CB. He had that little baby floater. I thought he should have shot that. That would have tied the game. But listen, whenever you lose, you're always nitpick 2 or 3 things. But that second quarter, you've got to sustain something. I thought the fourth quarter, when you play small ball, they absolutely crush you. If you got a stat sheet up there real fast, I don't know what the final was. Last time I looked, I thought it was 20-3. But you look at second chance points, you're minus 17 in a.
Mike,
let's be honest. I know DiVincenzo dunked the one at the end, but a 2 3-point game, you're giving up 17 extra points on second shots. The second unit struggled. That small ball unit struggled. And Aaron hit that big 3, but Aaron struggled for most of the night as well. Listen, I'm going to just say this, see if you guys agree. And I talked to somebody with the NBA today who said, you guys didn't play very good in game 1. You're lucky you guys got that. And they won by 11. I would contend this, that they really not have played good in either the first or the second game. But here you are, 1-1. Last year you were 0-2. Or the last time you played Minnesota and you went and won games 3 and 4 in Minnesota. So you know you can do it.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, you know, we talk about not playing well, but your opponent has something to say about that, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Minnesota played well.
We knew that this was one of the best, if not the most competitive series in the first round of either a conference, and it's playing out that way.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, plenty in store. We're going to hear from both coaches and the